Hello, everyone. Lisa Lee here, along with my silent partner over here.
Oh, that's me, Kendra Lee.
She doesn't like to announce herself that she's either here or that she's leaving. So today is Thursday, November 11th. It is Veterans Day. So number one, we would love to thank all the veterans and we honor them for all they have done for our country. It is also National Sunday Day, which I
like Sundays.
Well, I find that kind of funny considering last week's news
was Ice Cream Day.
No, it was an ice cream day. It was Candy Day, National Candy Day. But we ended up speaking of ice cream.
That's right. I like my Sundays with some candy on top.
You do?
I do.
Me too.
I like colored sprinkles. I don't know why, but I do. I like a little bit of like crumbled Snickers or Reese's or some sprinkling of some Nerds, something like that, depending on the flavor I have in my sundae. And I have to have whipped cream, no nuts, no cherry, no chocolate syrup. Caramel butterscotch
right syrup. In there with your sundae. It's like
it's fine. Marshmallows okay, and the banana's fine, but 3 scoops, 3 flavors. None of them chocolate because I don't care for chocolate. It just is overpowering of a flavor.
Okay, are we talking about your order at Friendly's or something? Because it sounds to me like you're ordering a Reese's Pieces sundae or something.
Oh no, because we don't have Friendly's here. So yeah, it is an awesome one. I do enjoy it, but since we don't have that out here.
That's right. You never got a Friendly's, did you?
We have to do other things out here.
My Reese's Pieces. My dad was very simple. He just liked like a vanilla sundae, you know? Very simple when he had it. Lauren would get a Reese's Pieces. Trisha would get a Reese's Pieces. My mom would fluctuate between a Reese's Pieces and a Jim Dandy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Jim Dandy, I believe, had the bananas in it.
It doesn't have scotch in it or something.
Yeah. Now, do you remember my mom's favorite ice cream flavors?
The butter pecan.
Yes. There's 5. It was 5 scoops. She'd always get the 5 scoop one, of course.
Was there a mint in there?
Yep. Chocolate chip mint.
Yeah. I want to say there was a weird one that just seemed odd, but like pistachio.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. Keep going.
My memory. You have inside of that particular sundae.
But she got it all the time, so.
Yeah, what were the other ones?
Rocky Road,
yeah.
Black Raspberry.
I knew it. I knew that. It was a fruit chunk one.
Mine were simple, and sometimes I would just get 2 scoops of one of it. Like it would be cookies and cream, cookie dough. So it would be cookies and cream, cookie dough, chocolate chip mint, because that's my favorite ice cream. Yeah, I would throw in like a vanilla. I never threw chocolate in there because I don't like a lot of chocolate. Yeah, well, they have like a lot of the syrup and stuff. I would add extra marshmallow and less peanut butter. My mother would add tons of peanut butter.
Yeah, that's weird that you say your dad liked all vanilla stuff. That's the way my son is. He all vanilla.
What he choose like a strawberry topping.
Hey, vanilla. Like he just doesn't want anything but vanilla flavored anything. If it comes in a choice of something, he wants it in vanilla. Otherwise, he won't eat it, and he's fine with that. Yeah, my dad he liked strawberry topping, but he didn't have strawberry ice cream, which is weird. Happy National Sunday Day. All right.
It is also National Heavy Metal Day. Rock on.
All right.
And one more. This is actually a day I will never forget. It is a day that I lost someone really special in my life.
Anniversary of the day.
Yes. My best friend since I was 17.
Michael. I'm teasing him.
Oh.
Cross the Rainbow Bridge. Yeah, that's where the animals cross.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael was a great guy. And he was funny. He was hilarious, actually. He was a clown. He would do everything to make people laugh. He was a big kid. and he died tragically in a vehicle accident while he was working. He was a bass player for a band called Hitman, and he was an amazing father. And I miss him very much. So I just want to acknowledge that because, it's every other national day. So, but again, importantly, thank you to all the veterans. Today is Veterans Day. Let's not forget that. Why don't we just get into the news?
All right, well, I have a piece of news.
Okay.
You know that little character called the elf on the shelf?
Yes.
So this cute little elf that will move around one's home prior to Christmas for little children to know that the elf is watching them and reporting back to Santa their naughtiness or goodness.
Right.
And so magically it gets moved. And Georgia, a judge banished this holiday toy because it felt that it was tyrannical for parents to have to deal with.
You kind of cut out a little bit, so they banished the toy? Okay.
Because it was going to free the parents from the tyranny that he caused.
That the elf caused on the shelf.
Yeah, but it's a mock order.
A mock order.
Yeah, it's not real. It's just that way so that parents can use it in case, if they're so inclined, where perhaps this elf has wreaked some havoc in the home, the parents can just say, hey, this judge so-and-so said no more. So that parents now have an excuse as to why elf is not in their home anymore or not moving around or what have you. He's kind of pooing on some holiday traditions, I guess.
I'm like speechless right now that our court system's even bothering to discuss this topic. We have a judge that's getting paid to write up an order, and a stenographer, assistant, paralegal, whatever, is sitting there writing this up for him where he's signing it. This is like taking up time and they're getting paid for this?
I guess so. They're just doing this to be helpful.
Why don't they just tell their kids the elf on the shelf doesn't exist, it's not real? Because
a lot has gone into the proving of it, and so many families do it. That's just not going to be believed, for one, and for two, you may ruin the whole theme of the Christmas spirit if you say that's not real.
So instead, we get our court system to lie about it for them.
Right.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So just thought that was a tidbit of some new info there. Maybe this will be a little bit more cool. Okay. You know how we have slang words?
Yeah.
Well, do we all know the real meaning of our slang words? Are we all hip? Are we popular with it?
It all depends. What are they? Which ones are you talking about?
Well, like goat, all of a sudden everybody will say, oh, he's the goat, or she's the goat, whatever. Like,
greatest of all time.
Right. That wasn't around like when we were kids.
No, it was not.
Some people don't like that people say, okay, boomer. And what about bye, Felicia? Do we know where that came from?
I'm guessing like Real Housewives or something. I don't know.
No, it was from Ice Cube's character in Friday.
Oh, okay. And
then it was basically during the pandemic when everybody was, locked in at first, I suppose. And there was a whole uptick of slang words that started to come out. And it was like the first one being Rona.
Right.
Quarantine and chill. And COVIDiot.
COVIDiot. I haven't heard that one. That's fine.
And so every year they add new words to the dictionary, right? Uh-huh. So sometimes the slang words end up getting in there.
Now, this is a dictionary of slang or the real dictionary, like the Webster's dictionary?
The Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Wow. Okay.
And so in October, they added 455 words.
Is Karen one of them?
two COVID-related words went in there. Uh-huh. Super spreader and vaccine passport.
Oh.
They became two of the 455. But the most common slang term that was used across all the generations, woke was most common among the boomers, with ghosted being most popular for Gen X. Salty was tops among the millennials, and low key for Gen Z. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, and basically they're saying that the percentage of people who use slang will increase with each generation. So as the younger you go, the more slang terms they use.
Well, yeah, we're kind of set in our ways. Although we do pick up a few things here and there. So many people say woke now, though. It's like, wait, is woke even really what you think it is anymore?
Right. Woke can be anything over food. It originally was over some societal injustice, but now it's over all kinds of things.
They make it seem like woke is like basically about like if you believe something that no one else believes in.
Or they just want you to believe whatever they believe in, so get woke. I
Right.
believe that the sky is red. Get woke. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And like people say savage a lot. It's the most popular slang in America right now, the top 10.
Uh-huh.
Ghosted, salty, on point, woke, goat, extra, low-key, catfish, savage, and thirsty. Those are the top 10 in the moment.
I'm still working on lit.
Oh, wow. That may be a little bit too far back.
That's lit or legit. Or I don't know, what was our slang back in the day? I don't know. Right on? I don't know.
Yeah, did we really have slang that way though? I don't
know. I remember that there were tons of like movie quotes that we all used to repeat.
Yeah, and sometimes like we'll still do that. I've noticed, and my kids will be like, look at each other and go, it must be some movie thing.
Yeah.
Like if I say it amongst my friends and we all know what we're talking about and they have no clue. Like there was this whole thing about we were trying to do an art project and you had to put the water in at a certain point, and I was with my girlfriend and my sons, and we were really stressing because the whole thing was going to get messed up if you put the water at the wrong point.
Right.
So finally it was like, oh my God, did you touch it with the water? And it was like, oh my God, it's not a freaking gremlin.
A gremlin.
And then she comes back with, oh my gosh, it she's like, but Gizmo's here right now.
Gizmo.
Meaning my mom's dog, which is nicknamed Gizmo. I mean, I think we use like, well, duh, a lot.
Duh. Yeah.
And we use like radical or rad dude.
I think that was a California thing.
We did dude a lot.
Yeah, dude.
Say, there's such an airhead if people were airheads.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember I used to say this all the time with your sister specifically, is take a chill pill.
A chill pill. Oh. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we just it was a few words, but like not even. Have a cow.
That was one. Don't have a cow. You used to say that all the time, actually.
Yeah. Duh.
Whatever, dude.
Or we'd say sometimes word.
Yeah, see, I remember them all from movies. I don't remember really saying it, but I remember you with the have a cow. Don't have a cow. You're going to have a cow. Like, calm down. Don't have a cow.
Yeah.
That was you. I just don't remember a lot of that, though.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't a constant.
No. I mean, we've named quite a bit, I think, but it wasn't.
But nowadays, it's like there's so many constantly every couple months, it seems.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get. We have a couple, little updates, really. Some of the things we mentioned last week. Well, first off, apparently, the Alec Baldwin situation, they are now looking to hold. Was it him negligent? Employees on the Rust film are suing Alec Baldwin for like post-traumatic stress type symptoms in regards to like having to help the woman who was shot and stop bleeding and things like that and taking care of the situation. So lawsuits are starting to pile in, and I do know that Helena's family has ceased counsel as well. They're going to be filing I'm going to start hearing about lawsuits and stuff.
Well, I also read that one of the DA who's in charge, I suppose, she dismissed some of the claims that were out there about perhaps the shooting was done on purpose with the bullet exchange for disgruntled crew members or any type of sabotage, and that's all been put to rest. That's not the case at all.
Right.
They said that for sure, obviously, the bullet did come out of the gun that Alec Baldwin shot, but they also have been able to prove that they know that he had no idea that that gun was loaded with a real bullet.
Right.
And they know exactly who loaded the gun, but they weren't specifying it. But that person who loaded it grabbed the bullets from a box of dummy bullets.
Okay.
So somehow a real bullet got into the dummy box. You know, all of the steps that nobody knew, everybody thought they were doing right. They're still trying to figure out how a real bullet got into the box of
That's the
dummy.
big question.
So they've been able to, you know, at least kind of trace back in that way. What are they going to do with that? Like, how are they going to figure that one out? That seems like they'll never really be able to figure that one out.
That case is still ongoing and will be for a while. Also, we mentioned last week the Brian Laundrie case, how, you know, because they had found his body. The coroner has labeled the death as unknown, and they are transferring his bones to an anthropologist.
Saying it'll take about a month or so for an anthropologist to make determinations on anything there.
Yeah, they said that they couldn't tell between by the soft tissue or the length of time that it could have been out there, what the cause of death actually was. So they're going to have an anthropologist make that determination if in fact they can. And then, what else did we talk about? Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson are dating.
Well, good for them.
Yeah. We didn't know if it was, going to be a PR stunt or whatever, but, you know, she's living single life. She's dating. Let her go out and have fun, right? Also, Travis and Kourtney, there was questioning whether their wedding would be aired on their new Hulu TV show, which is supposed to be starting sometime between January and February of 2022, but that could be delayed, so we still don't have a date for that. Also, it was questioned whether Scott was going to be invited to the wedding. Supposedly, sources say that even if he was, he will not attend, because that would be just like stabbing him in the heart.
Okay.
So there's the news as far as what we discussed last week. That's the updates. There is a big story happening right now. That's a very serious tragedy with Travis Scott, who is the father of Kylie Jenner's baby. In case people don't know or haven't heard, he had a concert, his Astro World concert last weekend, in which 8 people tragically died. They're saying it's from a stampede of the crowd rushing the stage. Also, what's been claimed is that somebody was going around with a needle and injecting people with something, and people were having heart attacks. Now, they know it happened to one person, but they're not sure if it had happened to all of them who died. So they were unsure at the time whether their death was caused by like dehydration and being stomped on, the actual stampede itself, or something like being stabbed with a needle with like the one person was. So that was still all under investigation. But there's this big issue going on now that people are really, really, really upset about, which is the fact that Travis Scott saw kind of like a commotion going on in an ambulance while he was performing in the concert, and he didn't stop, and people were rushing. Like, people actually got on the stage approaching like cameramen.
Yeah, people were apparently trying to get anybody's attention to bring stopping to it. And at one point, unfortunately, there's video footage of Travis having the people kind of attack and jump all over the ambulance and not take that seriously. And he's been known to do this type of stuff and have his audience break down barriers before and been taken to court over it. And so unfortunately this time, I guess a bad mix of things that went too far and people have died. And I know there's somebody they were saying just the other day that is in a coma and paralyzed that may be passing on.
Yeah, I know the one they just mentioned is brain dead.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who are injured and but not in the hospital. So it's a big mess. And I know a lot of lawsuits have already started from that one as well.
Yeah, it was an Astro World Festival along with Live Nation. And it's showing here that Live Nation, now this is from TMZ, but they're seeking to protect themselves from lawsuits. So the thing is that just being a concert promoter myself and putting on special events, I know what these contracts entail, whether with an artist, with a venue, and your insurance on said event. And you have to have event insurance, and it covers everything. You could include whether or not if your event's outside or whatever, but it's going to include any type of damage from accidental death or anything like that. So that's included in the insurance purchase. And in order for them to have the event, they have to have the insurance. Also, along with contracts, you have to have security. It's part of your rider. You have to provide these things for the artist. And
that's what I guess they're trying to say now, or do some petitions, or I'm not sure what exactly, but not to have any basically insurance company cover him doing an event again, or at least in the state of Texas. I mean, people are coming out with all kinds of opinion on what should happen. There's up to 168 lawsuits through just even one lawyer, and there's 18 lawsuits on another one. So there's a lot that's going to have to be picked through by the judges, that's for sure.
Well, the thing is, who's going to be responsible? Is it going to be Travis? It's not going to be Travis himself because he's a business, right? And then
they have a list of defendants, including Live Nation, which is the show's promoter and organizer, Travis Scott, musician Drake, and NRG Park, where the festival took place.
Right.
And the security company, and there's some others they don't list. That's a lot.
Yeah, well, people don't realize how much goes into putting on an actual show or concert. They really don't. Believe it or not, with just those 3 contracts, because those are the main contracts involved in the event, you have to provide security, you have to provide insurance. So that has to exist. Now, the question is whether they provided the adequate security at this point, because we're talking about a stampede. So they should have had proper security stopping that from happening in the front of the concert.
Well, and the person putting on the concert shouldn't be asking his audience to do it either.
The video that I've seen, I did see him saying something along those lines, but it wasn't from that concert. It was from 2019, which is what they're talking about, that this has already been brought up once before with him. That's what they're talking about, and that's the video that was shown. That video was not from this concert from this weekend.
So you know what else they're mad about? That he went to a Dave and Buster's afterwards, apparently.
Yeah, I just saw that.
That'll help, because he just felt so bad that he went to another place and partied. Okay, well, that's not going to look good. Apparently, Kylie was there.
Yes, and she posted some Instagram photos about it during the event itself. In one of her photos, you could see there was an ambulance that had pulled into the crowd. And she didn't remove it. She didn't take it off. First off, she has nothing to do with it. Okay?
No, she doesn't. I have a feeling in the next few months, she'll probably be breaking up with him.
Well, if it's for this reason, that's,
I think the stress of all of this isn't going to work out for them.
Here's the thing also. You have to remember something. When someone's on stage performing like that and there's ruckus going on, now, I'm calling it ruckus because it happens a lot. People get into fights. It all depends on the crowd. It all depends on what concert. It just happens. Things happen. Not that this is an excuse, but things do happen. And that's why security is in the front. Okay, he may see like a squabble going on, but it does not mean he knows what's going on. Like, I don't believe that he knew someone was definitely getting, stabbed or injected with a needle or something. He definitely didn't know that. Come on. Was it a stampede, or was it that, or was it both? And him being on stage, he could see something's going on, but if he sees an ambulance, or he thought maybe somebody may have passed out, you never know what he thought. I don't believe he knew exactly what was going on or what was transpiring until he got off stage and was taken away somewhere and was then told the whole entire thing of what happened, because I don't think everybody knew what was happening. So I have to believe that he didn't really know 100%. He did not know while he was on stage exactly what was going on. That I know.
That may be the case, but it's unfortunate that there's plenty of video footage of plenty of other singers, artists that seem to be able to stop their shows, and they're all saying he should have stopped the show. No, even if you don't know what's going on, stop it till you do know what's going on.
Right.
And the fact that it was being ignored so much, I mean, there's so much against it. It's just you just. Well,
there was also 50,000 people there. That's a lot of people to be at.
And then why did his people, who clearly knew by the time he was off stage, have him go into a Dave & Buster's and party on? Like, why in the heck was that an okay idea?
I just don't think that they knew the severity of what happened at that point. I really don't.
I don't know.
That would mean that this guy is cold-hearted, and I really don't believe he is. I do believe he's negligent as far as paying attention, but when you have that many people at a crowd and they are stampeding the stage, he couldn't possibly have known like I said, about and people being injected with needles out in the crowd. Couldn't have known that. But being that there were so many people, it is not unheard of that somebody might pass out or something. It's happened at a Bon Jovi concert. Like, I could see if they all went down in this big, huge crowd and a hole left in the chunk of this, you know what I mean? Like, I could see if it made this big impact right in front of him, where something big was going on, where there was a big circle of, like, you could definitely see something like that. But if you have that many people in front of you, one person passing out over here, one over there, like, I don't think he realized the magnitude of what was going on. I'm not giving him an excuse. I'm trying to imagine just working with musicians and being in that position of the concert producer, who I would be negligent. If it was me, they'd be coming after me, and I know that. And I'm still standing by the fact that I know that the artist wouldn't have known that. I know that the artist would have had to provide specific security. A concert producer would know who they're hiring, what type of crowd they have coming, they would know everything about the show before it showed up. It's really up in the air. I think he has a bit of negligence, but I don't think he should be getting the blame that he's getting. Because I believe that if he knew what was going on, he would have stopped the show. That's just my opinion. Because that was there's a whole bunch of different scenarios with the Travis Scott concert going on, between the concert itself, the injured people, and God bless them and their families. We hope that those who are injured come out of it okay. We hope everybody heals from it, and we're so sorry about the people who have died. But yeah, there's a lot of different stories coming out of this last weekend for that. There's going to be a lot more news coming from this investigation, so we'll have to keep updating on that. Now, you had mentioned to me these TikTokers. What is going on there?
Oh, they're all not friends anymore, that's for sure.
They're not?
No, a bunch of them became some good buddies, and then they formed a little group to go on tour and do the little comedy show and do their little skits and
dancing and
just have a little fun with each other. And people were buying tickets, and they had different vendors and other creators appear and sell and do their stuff on the side, and everybody was kind of supportive of everybody. And
this is all a group of TikTokers.
Yeah, they all didn't know each other a year ago. Then they all decided to just get that going. They had managers and concert dates and tours, and all of that really started to roll. And slowly, this group of, it was men only.
Yeah, I thought they were like a Magic Mike type of group.
They got bigger and bigger. They did dancing and stuff like that. But
what was the name of the group?
Content Violation.
Content Violation. Okay,
they
and they were made up of a couple of police officers, correct?
Yeah, they had about 7 or 8 men. 3 of them were police officers. They are just some good old boys, and one by one started to leave. As they each would leave, the rumors would go crazy. We find out why now it came out all of a sudden, I don't know, but it did, that there had been some sexual assault going on.
Oh my goodness.
From some of the people in the group. So now the allegations are against them if they did in fact do this or not, as well as who else in the group knew or not. And it all seemed to unload on TikTok in various lives, also a little bit on Instagram, and different people's videos, and different women have come forth specifically about 2 of the men. The group has since disbanded. The tours are all canceled. Everybody seems very uptight and angry and not speaking with one another. The fans all kind of split sides. And it's just sort of a real, you couldn't get through a couple of days even on TikTok without seeing it in some extent on your For You page of somebody talking about it, going over a timeline of it. And now there are some legal, people are suing. There's some legal lawsuits going on. So now everybody has to be hush about it. So we're just in a waiting mode to see what comes of those. But many women stepped forward, unfortunately, as victims of SA, specifically against one of the members who was a police officer.
Yeah, I saw some of those TikToks like throughout, I want to say the past couple of months. I saw some of them, but I never put them together. Like they were all part of the same group. Like I saw one person and then I saw another person. I thought they were totally separate people, but it turns out they were all basically, they've met up with Wood Talk.
Yeah, a lot of people went there. That was another meetup they did with a lot of other famous creators and fans and everybody. And that went well and fine then.
What was going on behind the scenes? Nobody knew.
Yeah, everybody. I don't know why or how. Was it up to 12 different people have come forward at this point?
Wow.
Yeah, and they've, gone to the police about it. And it's unfortunate because it was one of those where you all kind of go, what? Really? Like you don't expect it, but then you hear the story and you go, well, you believe the victim. I mean, it sounds reasonable. And then, of course, the people disappear and their accounts go down and you go, here comes the guilt. So
that's crazy.
It's sad. It's because there was a lot of people fooled. Now it's more of were the rest of the people in the know or not? And were people hiding it, covering it up, helping that or not? Like
that's crazy because people watch them every day doing their TikToks because these people post things daily.
Oh yeah, they all would pretty much post 1 or 2 things a day. They would have on the weekends their tour was going on. Every weekend they were at some other location.
People are invested in them.
They have merch lines and oh yeah.
I haven't seen that directly on the news. You brought it to my attention. You really never know who people are. And it's you got to trust your instincts more.
Yeah, and I think through video and just being an audience member, or fan, or whatever we are, you watch a TikTok thing, it's hard to really know anybody. I mean, you can maybe
only see pieces of their life.
Right. Like you can kind of get a gist here or there by how they talk. Maybe you don't like certain aspects of it or who they follow artistically or politically or something. But other than that, you can't get a feel really for a good guy or not.
Yeah.
You never know.
Or instincts. I mean, when something like this comes out, you got to go with what you feel,
Yeah, and just sort of, if you see these people in real life and whatever goes on at these shows and what's said and done, maybe, you go, whoa, that's surprising. Maybe I didn't realize they took it that far. And maybe there were some clues along the way, but I didn't, attend any or see any. So I don't know. But
one thing about our news show, Tea Time, or our channel is that we do not want to get political on here. I mean, at times it's kind of very hard to. A lot of things are political these days. So we may discuss something that can become political. We definitely don't want to draw opinions to either side, party, or sides, I should say, because a lot of times there's more than 2. Have different opinions about things, and we have the same opinions about things. So we're not set on one side either way. So there's certain topics that we just choose not to discuss. Could possibly pop up. Like, for instance, did you happen to notice the advertisement with Big Bird and a doctor holding a needle and Big Bird telling everybody he got the jab?
Yeah, but Big Bird didn't say he got the jab.
I'm saying that. But he's saying he got the vaccine, and that advertisement is in gear to prepare kids
Right.
for the vaccine.
I only saw it because I saw it on the news being talked about.
I think that's wrong. Big Bird does not give vaccines.
Well, I think they did it to try and help children not be afraid because there's going to be a bunch of children getting the vaccine. So it was an effort to help them be more okay and not scared of what's going to be.
I get that, but there's just so much controversy over it that I think adding one more not real compliant to the mix, especially towards children, isn't the proper way to do it. I get that why they did it, and if it was a normal doctor visit, this kid's always got this one vax for many, many years instead. If there wasn't such controversy about it, I would think that's a great way to get any kid to get any vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I don't get them doing it over this.
Well, they probably did it over this just because of that reason, too, I would assume, because the kids are hearing so much in all parts of their life. So might as well bring something in for them that they could relate to, because they can't relate to all these adults.
Right.
They don't really understand half of what's going on. Every part of the vaccine can be considered controversial. And
I just think bringing something into it that's obviously not true.
Right. Well, but see, some kids who are 5, 6 believe Big Bird's true and real.
Right.
So
why aren't we promoting Santa Claus getting a vaccine right now?
And it's the same thing like the whole, as we started with the elf on the shelf.
Exactly.
They believe these things are very real. Now, if Mr. Rogers was alive and Mr. Rogers had done it, would that be better? Because Mr. Rogers is a real person.
Yeah, but he'd be getting paid to do it.
Well, not necessarily, but
I get your point there. If a real person came out who did get the vaccine themselves, or any vaccine, let's just not say the vaccine, any vaccine. If Mr. Rogers came out, or a real person that kids relate to came out and did that, then fine. Seeing Big Bird with a doctor with a mask on holding a needle in his hand straight up in the air, that to me was like, I didn't feel right about that at all. I just had to say. So like I said, some things will pop up in our news feed that's controversial, and I hope Kendra and I will give you maybe 2 different versions of what we believe on it, whether we believe it or just the 2 different sides that we see. I don't think we'll dive too deep into the topic of vaccines, COVID.
No, it's all pretty much over with by now. Everybody's heard 27 different parts and angles about it, so why bother?
Yeah. You just got to go with what you feel is best for you and your family, and that's what I feel is the bottom line. So, we have birthdays today.
Leonardo's birthday?
Yes. Leonardo DiCaprio is 46. Demi Moore is 58.
Demi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that like a California way of saying it? Frankie Shaw is 39, and I apologize. I don't know who she is. Call me old school. I have no idea who Frankie Shaw is. Do you?
Well, yeah, but do you know who Callista Flockhart is?
Yes, I know who Callista Flockhart is. Ally McBeal.
Well, it's her birthday as well.
Yep. She is 56. And Stanley Tucci is 60. And Carson Presley is 51.
What about Vinny? You know who Vinny is?
Vinny Hap.
From Jersey Shore.
No, I do not know who Vinny is.
You don't know who Vinny from really?
I don't watch them. I just know Snooki's from Jen. There's a Snooki and a Jen. Jen Wow.
J Wow.
Jen Wow.
Well, it's J Wow.
Oh, J Wow. Sorry.
God.
Lisa Rinna is claiming her daughter, Delilah, she has a health battle and she's blaming it on COVID. Or it's triggered by COVID. Now, I don't know if it's triggered by COVID or the vaccine, but this is something she's starting to claim right now. And she also has some Xanax issues. So that's something that's been coming out. And Chris Pratt is getting slammed for posting a tribute to his wife.
Why?
Catherine Schwarzenegger. I don't know. It sounds ridiculous to me. What's this Let's Go Brandon thing?
What do you mean? What is it?
Apparently, from what I understand, Let's Go Brandon had to do with a race car driver winning a race.
Right. And that was the name of the driver who won. And the guy interviewing him said, "Oh, listen to the crowd chant, 'Let's go, Brandon.'" And then
they were saying,
people said, no, that wasn't the right chant.
Right.
It was about, we hate Biden or something.
Right.
And then now that's a running joke and meme all over the place to say, "Let's go, Brandon," meaning you're
in other words, "Let's go, Brandon" is actually taking the place of our president.
Right, I suppose so. Some people seem to just be doing it to be on the craze of it.
All right, so is that it for the news today?
That's about it.
All righty, guys. So till next time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and let us know what you think.
Okay. I'll do that.
You do that?
I'll do that.
Don't forget to do that. It's really important.
I'm going to do it right now.
Anyhow, all right, everybody. Have a great week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Amigo.
Adios, amigo?
Yeah.
I say adios. You're supposed to say like ciao or toodles or something. I would say adios, amigo if I meant adios, amigo. And I would have said adios, amigos. You know, I don't go adios and then you go amigo. You're supposed to say toodles or ciao. Or,
okay.
Let's try this again. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Kendra.
Goodbye, Kendra.
Bye.
Thought you were saying adios again.